The stars looked different through the window of the Meridian. Jake Morrison pressed his hand against the cold glass and stared at the blue-green planet growing larger ahead of them. His daughter Lily stood on a chair beside him, her nose nearly touching the window. "Is that it, Dad? Is that our new home?" Lily asked. "That's it, sweetheart. Kepler 442b. We'll be landing in a few hours," Jake said. He put his arm around her small shoulders. The Meridian carried 3,000 people. All of them were looking for a fresh start on a new world. Jake was one of the security officers on the ship. His job was to keep people safe during the long journey from Earth. Now that journey was almost over. Jake's wife died 2 years ago from cancer. After that, Earth felt empty. Too many memories in every corner of their apartment. Too much pain. When the colony program opened applications, Jake signed up. He wanted to give Lily a better life. A new beginning, where they could build happy memories together. The speakers in the corridor crackled to life. "All passengers return to your quarters. We're beginning landing procedures. This is not a drill." Jake picked up Lily and carried her back to their small cabin. He strapped her into the safety harness on her bunk. She looked worried. "Dad, what if the new planet doesn't like us?" "Planets don't have feelings, Lily. It's just rock and water and air," Jake said, with a smile. "But what if someone already lives there?" Jake kissed her forehead. "The scans showed no signs of intelligent life. We're going to be fine." He was wrong. The Meridian shook as it entered the atmosphere. Jake held onto the wall and watched Lily. She squeezed her eyes shut tight. The shaking got worse. Then suddenly it stopped. They were gliding now, descending toward the landing site the survey team had picked out months ago. That's when the alarms started screaming. "Unknown vessel approaching. All security personnel report to stations. This is not a drill." Jake's heart dropped into his stomach. He looked at Lily. "Stay here. Lock the door behind me. Don't open it for anyone except me. Understand? Stay here." "Dad, I'm scared." "I know, baby. But I'll be right back. I promise." He kissed her head and ran out the door. He heard it lock behind him. Jake sprinted down the corridor toward the security station. Other security officers were running too. They all had the same confused and frightened looks on their faces. No one expected this. Captain Lisa Grant's voice came over the speakers. She sounded calm, but Jake could hear the edge in her words. "All hands. We have been intercepted by an alien vessel. They are requesting we leave immediately. Stay calm. Do not panic. We are attempting communication." Jake reached the security station and grabbed his equipment vest. No weapons yet. The captain didn't want to appear hostile. Around him, 20 other security officers were gearing up. "Morrison, you're on deck 3, said his supervisor, Carl Potter. "Keep people in their quarters. We don't need a stampede." Jake nodded and headed for deck 3. That's where the family quarters were. That's where Lily was. He was halfway there when the ship shook again. Not from turbulence this time. Something had connected with the hull. The aliens were boarding. "All security to airlocks. They're coming inside," Carl's voice shouted through Jake's radio. Jake's mind split in two. His training said, "Go to the airlocks." His heart said, "Go to Lily." He ran toward the family quarters. The corridor lights flickered. Then he heard screaming. Jake turned a corner and saw them. 3 alien creatures in the hallway. They stood on 2 legs like humans, but that's where the similarity ended. They were covered in scales that shifted between green and purple. Their heads were narrow with large golden eyes. They had arms, but also smaller limbs, folded against their chests. When they moved, it was fast and smooth, like birds. One of them was trying to open a cabin door. A family was inside, screaming. "Hey!" Jake shouted. The 3 aliens turned toward him. They made clicking sounds at each other. One of them started walking toward Jake. It moved like a predator. Jake raised his hands. I don't want trouble. Just leave the families alone. The alien tilted its head. It clearly didn't understand English. It kept coming closer. Then Jake heard a sound that made his blood turn to ice. A child's scream. Lily's scream. His head snapped toward the sound. Further down the corridor, near his cabin, he saw 4 more aliens. The door to his cabin was open. One of them was dragging Lily out. She was crying and fighting, but she was so small. Something primal took over Jake's mind. He didn't think. He just moved. He ran past the first alien so fast it didn't have time to grab him. His boots pounded against the metal floor. The aliens holding Lily turned to look at him. One of them raised what looked like a weapon. Jake didn't slow down. He lowered his shoulder and crashed into the alien holding his daughter. They both went down hard. Lily rolled free. "Run!" Jake shouted at her. But there was nowhere to run. More aliens were coming from both directions. Lily scrambled backward until she hit the wall. She curled into a ball, making herself as small as possible. The aliens surrounded Jake. He got to his feet and put himself between them and Lily. 5 aliens, all taller and stronger than him. He could see their muscles moving under their scales. One of them spoke. The translator device on the wall flickered to life. Move away from the young one. Move. 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 No, Jake said simply. You will die. Then I die. Jake spread his arms wider, making himself a bigger shield in front of his daughter. The alien raised its weapon. Jake closed his eyes and waited for the end. He heard Lily crying behind him. At least she would know he tried. At least she would know he loved her. But the blast never came. Instead, a voice shouted something in the alien language. The word was sharp and commanding. Every alien in the corridor froze. Jake opened his eyes. A new alien walked down the corridor. This one was different. Taller than the others. The scales on her body were deeper purple, with streaks of gold. She wore something that looked like armor but decorated with symbols. Behind her walked 6 more aliens, all watching her carefully. She stopped in front of Jake and looked down at him. Her golden eyes studied him for a long moment. Then she looked at Lily, still curled up against the wall behind her father. The alien spoke. The translator crackled again. You protect the small one. She's my daughter, Jake said. His voice was shaking, but he kept his arms spread wide. You would die for her. Yes. The alien made a sound that might have been surprise. She turned to the other aliens and spoke rapidly in her own language. Jake couldn't understand the words, but he heard the tone. She was angry. The other aliens lowered their weapons and backed away. The tall alien knelt down slowly. She was still taller than Jake, even on her knees. She reached out, one clawed hand toward Lily. Jake shifted to block her. No, he said firmly. The alien pulled her hand back. She looked at Jake with what might have been respect. You are brave. Foolish, but brave. Just let us go, please. She's only 6 years old. The alien tilted her head. 6 cycles? She is very small, very young. She stood up and spoke to her soldiers again. They all stepped further back. Then she looked at Jake. I am Keshra. I lead my people on this world. You are invaders. We didn't know anyone lived here, Jake said. Our scans showed the planet was empty. Your scans were wrong. This world is sacred to the Vorani. Jake kept his position between Keshra and Lily. We can leave. Just let us go back to our ship. Keshra made a clicking sound. Your people fired weapons at my warriors. Blood was spilled. This cannot be ignored. That was a mistake. Someone got scared. Please, most of us are just families. We're looking for a new home. Jang. Keshra stared at him. You protect your young, even now. Even when speaking to me, you do not relax. You do not trust. Would you, if someone came to your home with weapons? To Jake's surprise, Keshra made a sound that might have been a laugh. No. I would not. She turned to one of her soldiers and gave an order. The soldier hurried away. Then she looked back at Jake. You are injured. Jake looked down at himself. He hadn't noticed before, but his side was bleeding. During the collision with the first alien, something had cut him. His shirt was soaked with blood. I'm fine, he lied. You are not fine. You are bleeding from a deep wound. Keshra spoke into a device on her wrist. I am calling for medical assistance. I don't need your help. Just let us go back to our cabin. Keshra's eyes narrowed. You are stubborn. Like a Vorani mother, protecting her nest. She knelt down again, and this time spoke directly to Lily. Small one. What is your name? Lily looked at her father. Jake nodded slightly. It was okay to answer. Lily, she whispered. Lily, I am Keshra. I have young ones too. A son and a daughter. Do you know why your father stands in front of you? Lily nodded. He's protecting me. Yes, among my people, this is the highest honor. To protect the young, even at the cost of your own life. Your father has shown great courage. Keshra stood and looked at Jake. I invoke Salketh, the life debt. You have proven yourself worthy of honor, human. I don't understand what that means, Jake said. It means you and your daughter are now under my personal protection. No Vorani will harm you. This I swear by my ancestors. Before Jake could respond, his legs gave out. The blood loss was catching up to him. He fell to his knees, still trying to stay between Keshra and Lily. Dad! Lily jumped forward and grabbed his arm. Keshra moved fast. She caught Jake before he hit the floor completely. Her strength was incredible. She held him easily with one arm while speaking rapidly into her wrist device. Lily, listen to me, Jake managed to say. His vision was getting blurry. Stay close. Don't run. It's going to be okay. You are losing too much blood, Keshra said. My medical team is coming. They will help you. My daughter. Promise me. If I don't make it, promise you'll protect her. Keshra looked surprised again. You still think of her, even as you fade. Remarkable. She placed her free hand on Jake's shoulder. I promise. By Salketh, I promise. But you will not die today, human. I will not allow it. 2 more Vorani arrived carrying medical equipment. They moved quickly, scanning Jake with devices and applying something to his wound that made the bleeding stop. The pain faded to a dull ache. One of them spoke to Keshra. She nodded and then looked down at Jake. They say you need more treatment. Treatment we cannot do here on your ship. You must come to our facility on the planet's surface. No. I'm staying with my people. Your people cannot save you. Your wound is deeper than it appears. Something damaged inside. Without proper treatment, you will die within 1 day. End quote. Jake looked at Lily. She was crying, holding his hand tight. Your daughter can come too, Keshra added. She will not be separated from you. This I also promise. Jake woke up in a room he didn't recognize. The walls were smooth and white with a faint glow. The bed underneath him was softer than anything on the Meridian. For a moment he forgot where he was. Then everything came rushing back. The aliens. The fight. Lily. He sat up fast. Too fast. Pain shot through his side, and he gasped. Dad? Lily was sitting in a chair next to his bed. She jumped up and hugged him carefully, avoiding his injured side. Jake wrapped his arms around her and held her close. She was safe. That was all that mattered. Where are we? Jake asked. The alien hospital. Keshra brought us here. She said you were really hurt. Lily pointed to his side. They fixed you, though. Look. Jake lifted his shirt. Where the wound should have been, there was only smooth skin with a faint silver line. Whatever the Varani had done, it worked better than any human medicine he knew. The door opened and Keshra entered. She was even more impressive in the bright light. Her scales caught the glow from the walls and shimmered. Behind her came two smaller Varani. One was about Lily's height. The other was taller, maybe equivalent to a human teenager. You are awake. Good, Keshra said. How do you feel? Better. Thank you for saving my life. Keshra made a gesture with her hand that might have been a wave of dismissal. You saved your daughter. I simply ensured you both survived. She looked at Lily. Your small one has been very brave. She did not cry or complain while we worked on you. Lily looked down, shy suddenly. The smaller Varani stepped forward. It made chirping sounds at Lily. Lily looked confused. This is Thrin, my youngest, Keshra explained. He wants to know if you would like to see his drawings. He is very proud of them. Lily looked at her father. Jake nodded. It's okay. Go ahead. Thrin and Lily left the room together. The older Varani followed them. Keshra watched them go with an expression Jake couldn't quite read. Your daughter is very much like mine was at that age. Curious. Gentle. Keshra said quietly. Was? Jake asked. My mate died 3 cycles ago. A sickness that we could not cure. I raise my 2 young ones alone now. She turned to look at Jake. When I saw you protect your daughter, I understood. You know what it is to be both mother and father, to carry all the weight alone. Jake nodded slowly. My wife died 2 years ago. Cancer. I've been raising Lily by myself since then. Then we are the same, you and I. Both protecting our young in a universe that can be very cruel. Keshra pulled a chair over and sat down. She was quiet for a moment. Then she spoke again. I must tell you something. The situation with your people is not good. What do you mean? The Varani High Council is meeting now. Many of my people are angry that humans came to our sacred world. They want your ship to leave immediately. Some want more than that. They want to make sure humans never return. Jake felt cold. You mean they want to destroy the Meridian? There is a war chief named Drakus. He is very powerful. He says humans are a threat. He says we should eliminate the threat before it grows. Keshra leaned forward. Compensate. Seemsar. I invoked Salketh to save you and your daughter. But that only protects you two. It does not protect the other 3,000 humans on your ship. What can we do? There is one way, an old law, very old. It is called Kaltera, the claiming. I don't understand. Keshra stood and walked to the window. Outside, Jake could see a city made of buildings that looked like they grew from the ground instead of being built. In ancient times, when 2 Varani clans met, they would sometimes fight. Many would die. To stop the bloodshed, a leader from each clan could perform Kaltera. They would claim each other as family. Their clans would become one clan. No more fighting. You want to make peace between our people? Yes. But it requires a human to volunteer. Someone who will stand before the High Council and accept the claiming ceremony. If they do this, all humans become part of my extended clan, protected by Varani law. Jake's mind raced. And you want me to do this? You are the only one who can. You already have Salketh. You have already proven your honor to my people. If you agree to Kaltera, the council cannot refuse. It is too ancient, too sacred. What does the ceremony involve? Keshra turned to face him. You would become my family, not my mate in the way you think. But in Varani law, we would be bonded. You would receive my clan markings. You would speak for my clan. Your daughter would become my daughter. My children would become your children. That's a lot to ask. I know. But without this, I cannot protect your people. Dracus will convince the council to attack your ship. 3,000 humans will die. Jake stood up slowly. His side still ached a little, but he could move. He walked to the window and looked out at the alien city. Somewhere out there, the Meridians sat on the landing field. Inside were 3,000 people who just wanted a new home. Families like his. Children like Lily. If I refuse, he asked, then I will do what I can. But it will not be enough. Dracus is very good at using fear. He will win. And if I agree, then you give up much of who you were. You become part of two worlds, neither fully human nor fully Vorani. It is not an easy path. Jake thought about Lily. He thought about all the other children on the Meridian. He thought about his wife and what she would say if she were here. She always told him to do the right thing, even when it was hard. When is this ceremony? Jake asked. Tomorrow. The council meets at sundown. Jake spent the rest of the day learning about the ceremony. Keshra explained every step. The sharing of blood to show unity. The speaking of oaths before the council. The receiving of clan markings that would glow under his skin. Captain Lisa Grant came to visit him in the afternoon. She looked tired and worried. Jake, I need to know you're doing this willingly. No one is forcing you, right? Lisa asked. No one is forcing me, Jake said. But we don't have much choice. It's this or Dracus convinces the council to destroy the Meridian. Lisa sat down heavily. I know. I've been trying to negotiate, but they won't even let me speak to the council. Only Keshra seems willing to help us. She looked at Jake carefully. This ceremony. Do you understand what it means? Keshra explained it. I become part of her clan. All humans become protected under Vorani law. But you'll be changed. Those markings she talked about. They're permanent. You'll carry them. For the rest of your life. Jake looked out the window. He could see Lily and Thrin playing in a courtyard below. They were drawing pictures in the dirt, with sticks. Despite everything, they were laughing. I've already been changed, Jake said quietly. The moment I stepped between those aliens and my daughter. The moment Keshra showed us mercy. Nothing will ever be the same anyway. Lisa nodded slowly. The colonists are grateful. They don't all understand what you're doing, but they know you're trying to save them. I'm not a hero, Lisa. I'm just a father who wants his daughter to have a future. That's exactly what makes you a hero, Lisa said. She stood up. I should go. The ceremony is in a few hours. Get some rest. After she left, Keshra returned with clothing for Jake. It was a simple robe in dark blue, similar to what Vorani wore during important ceremonies. You should prepare, Keshra said. The council chamber is large and can be frightening. Many Vorani will be watching. I'm ready, Jake said, though he wasn't sure if that was true. Keshra studied him. You are afraid. That is good. Fear shows you understand the weight of what we do. But know this. Jake Morrison. Once we complete Kaltera, I will protect you and your people with my life. This I swear. Why are you doing this? You could just let us leave. Go find another planet. Keshra was quiet for a moment. When my mate died, I was broken. I thought I could not continue. But my children needed me. So I learned to be strong. I learned that protecting our young is the only thing that truly matters. She looked at Jake. You understand this. You proved it when you stood between death and your daughter. Humans who understand this truth are not enemies. They are family. The sun was setting when they walked to the council chamber. Lily held Jake's hand tight. She was wearing a small robe that matched his. Keshra's two children walked on the other side. Thrin kept looking at Lily and making quiet chirping sounds. Keshra's older daughter, Vesa, walked with dignity and kept glancing at Jake with curiosity. The council chamber was enormous. Hundreds of Vorani sat in curved rows that rose up toward the ceiling. At the center was a raised platform. Standing on that platform was a large Vorani covered in red and black scales. His eyes were cold. "That is Dracus," Keshra whispered. "Remember what I told you. Stay calm. Answer his questions with truth." They walked to the platform. The chamber fell silent. Every eye was on Jake. An elderly Vorani stood at the highest point of the chamber. This was the council speaker. He spoke in the Vorani language, and Jake's translation device converted the words. Keshra of Clan Talveris. "You have called this council for Kaltera. Present your claim." "Keshra, your claim." Keshra of Clan Talveris. Keshra stepped forward. "Honored council, I present Jake Morrison, human father and protector. He has shown Salketh. He has proven his honor. I claim him as family so that peace may exist between our peoples." Dracus stepped forward. His voice was deep and hard. "This is foolish. Humans are invaders. They came to our sacred world with weapons. They fired on our warriors. Now you want to make them family?" "One human fired in fear," Keshra replied. "One human out of 3,000. Should we judge an entire species by one frightened individual? They do not belong here, and yet here they are. We can choose war and bloodshed, or we can choose peace and understanding." Dracus turned to Jake. "Human, why should we accept you? What makes you worthy of Kaltera?" Jake took a breath. He thought about all the speeches he could make, all the logical arguments. Then he decided on simple truth. "I don't know if I'm worthy," Jake said. "I'm just a man trying to protect his daughter, trying to give her a future. When your people came to our ship, I didn't see aliens. I saw my daughter in danger and I did what any parent would do. I protected her. So you acted on instinct, like an animal." "No. I acted on love. The same love Keshra shows for her children. The same love I see in every Vorani parent who watches their young play. We're not so different. We both understand that our children are our future." Dracus snorted. "Pretty words, but words are easy." "You're right," Jake said. "Words are easy. So let me offer action. Accept this ceremony. Let us prove ourselves through our deeds. If humans betray this trust, then you can exile us, but give us the chance." The council speaker raised his hand. "Dracus, do you challenge the Kaltera?" "Do." Dracus stared at Jake for a long moment. Then he looked at Keshra. "I challenge. This human has not proven himself beyond one moment of courage. I demand the test of kinship." The chamber erupted in shocked sounds. Keshra's scales rippled with anger. "The test has not been used in generations," she said. "It is archaic. But it is still law," Dracus said with satisfaction. "If the human truly has the spirit of family, he will pass. If not, then he proves my point that humans are weak and unworthy." The council speaker looked troubled. "The test of kinship is dangerous. Many who attempt it fail." "What is this test?" Jake asked. Keshra turned to him. Her voice was low and urgent. "It is an ancient trial. You must spend 3 days living as Vorani, hunting, surviving, protecting. At the end, you must face a challenge that tests your commitment to family above all else." "I'll do it," Jake said. "You don't understand. The final challenge is designed to make you choose between your own safety and the safety of others. Many choose themselves. That is why they fail." Jake looked at Lily. She was scared but trying to be brave. "Just like always. I understand perfectly. When do I start?" Dracus smiled. It was not a friendly expression. "Immediately. And to make it interesting, your daughter stays here as motivation. If you fail or give up, all humans leave this world forever. No, Keshra said sharply. The child stays with me. She is under Salketh protection. The council speaker considered this. Agreed. The child remains in Keshra's care. Jake Morrison, do you accept the test of kinship? Jake knelt down and hugged Lily tight. I have to go away for a few days, sweetheart. But I'll be back. I promise. Like you promised before, Lily whispered. You always keep your promises, Dad. That simple trust nearly broke Jake's heart. He kissed her forehead and stood up. I accept the test. They took him to the wilderness beyond the city. 2 Varani warriors went with him. They gave him basic supplies and a small blade. Nothing else. You must hunt for your food. Build your own shelter. Survive 3 days, one warrior explained. On the 3rd day, we will come for you. Then you face the final challenge. They left him alone in a forest of strange purple trees. The air smelled different. The sounds were alien. Jake had camping experience from Earth, but this was completely different. He spent the first day exploring and learning. The plants here were unusual, but some had fruit that seemed safe. He found a stream with clear water. By nightfall, he had built a rough shelter from branches and large leaves. The 2nd day was harder. He tried to catch fish from the stream, but they were too fast. He ate more fruit and found some roots that tasted bitter, but filled his stomach. He made his shelter stronger. At night, he heard strange howling in the distance and didn't sleep much. On the 3rd day, the warriors returned. Jake was dirty and tired, but he had survived. You have done well, one warrior said. Now comes the true test. They led him deeper into the forest. In a clearing, Jake saw a structure made of stone. In one cage was a small animal that looked like a cross between a rabbit and a bird. It was making distressed sounds. In the other cage was Thrin. Jake's blood went cold. What is this? The test of kinship. The warrior said. In one cage is a creature of this world, harmless and innocent. In the other is Keshra's son. Both cages are locked. Both are rigged to release poisonous gas in 1 hour. You have one key. You can only open one cage. Choose. This is insane. He's a child. Yes. And this is the choice our ancestors faced many times. When resources are scarce, when danger comes, who do you save? Your own family or an innocent outsider? The warrior placed a key in Jake's hand. Choose wisely. Both will die if you do nothing. Jake ran to Thrin's cage. The young Varani looked terrified. It's okay. I'm going to get you out. He put the key in the lock. His hand shook. Then he stopped. This was the test. They were watching to see if he would choose Keshra's son because he wanted to join her clan. It was the logical choice. The smart choice. But Jake looked at the small creature in the other cage. It was innocent. Scared. It didn't understand why it was trapped. He thought about what Keshra said. That protecting the young was the highest honor. Not protecting your own young. Protecting all young. Jake pulled the key out of Thrin's lock. He walked to the other cage and opened it. The small creature bounded out and disappeared into the forest. No, Thrin cried out. Save yourself. Leave me. Jake went back to Thrin's cage. He grabbed the bars and pulled with all his strength. They didn't budge. He looked around frantically. There had to be another way. The warrior spoke. You made your choice. The hour begins now. Do you wish to change your decision? We can give you the key again. No, Jake said. He kept pulling at the bars. There has to be another way. I'm not leaving him. There is no other way. That is the point of the test. Jake looked at Thrin. The young Varani had tears running down his scaled face. I'm sorry, Jake said, but I won't sacrifice an innocent life. Not even to save you. Not even to save myself. He sat down in front of the cage. If Thrin was going to die, he wouldn't die alone. "What are you doing?" the warrior asked. "Whatever gas kills him will kill me too if I'm close enough. So I'm staying." "You'll die for nothing. You cannot save him." "Maybe not. But I won't leave him alone." That's what family means. The minutes ticked by. Jake held his hand through the bars. Thrin gripped it tight. Neither of them spoke. Then, with 10 minutes left, the cage door swung open on its own. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Sonnet 4.5.